deck is awesome. I'm very excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for round 5 of 5. I'm
Yes.
Ryan Johnson.
Jacob Ross.
Dayton Magic Club presents an evening of F&M at Game Haven. Get more for your games in Riverside, Ohio.
Yeah.
DaytonMagicClubWebsite.com, your source for all things magic in southwestern Ohio. So here's the situation. Table 1 is, as we predicted, Dean, who you saw a couple times tonight, will be drawing with Cassie.
Yes.
They've chosen to draw,
Yes.
despite the fact that Cassie will draw herself into 3rd place.
Right.
They worked that out, and they will be drawing. Table 2 is Chris Stipp
And Chris Mudry.
and Chris
That'll be
Mudry.
a mono blue devotion here.
Right. Which, so Mono Blue Devotion will be taking 2nd place, depending on the pilot.
Right.
So we'll let you know if that finishes up before this one. But we thought we'd put something a little more interesting. This is table 3.
Yeah.
They are playing for probably 3rd place, depending on breakers.
Probably
4th, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. So they're playing for top 4,
Right.
depending on breakers.
They're working out a trade.
It's true.
Which is awesome. You would not see this on SCG Live. So that's
That's true. This is just happening
I wonder
right
what the
now.
trade's going to be. Ooh, get those Legion loyalists. Those are good.
So we have Zach, who we just saw,
Yes.
get defeated by Dean in round 4. He is playing Blue-Black Devotion.
Yes.
Then we have Jason Livingston on the left, who I'm not exactly sure what he's playing. I've not seen him play tonight.
Yeah, I know he's been working on like red something devotion. He had been playing like mono red aggro. So I'm not sure what he was playing. So Rare Binder versus Tier.
The classic matchup.
That binder is also teal, I think.
There's a lot of teal going on.
I like it.
So, we could perhaps get our match underway. Zach.
Oh man. Scoop out the Wrathy Dragon. Alright, Alright, starting on the next page, we're going to name the most cards wins. Ready, set,
Zach.
go.
That's a Bosch.
Ah! Bosch? Really?
That was a Bosch, I'm pretty sure.
I thought Bosch was... No, it's Draco. Never mind.
Yeah.
Alright, you won.
Yeah, I'm the best.
I saw a coat of arms on the...
Yeah, but guess what?
I know, do it again.
Alright, so, this is playing for top 4.
Yes.
And round 5 of 5. What's 4th place?
4th place is...
1750?
That sounds right, or 3rd. Well, let's see, hold on. Let me pull out my handy-dandy thing. AKA a phone.
We'll get you the prizes.
1750.
1750. So that's the prize in the line. It's not like a windfall. You're not going to get wealthy.
No.
But it's not bad.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. F&Ms serve a really good, purpose for obtaining cards.
Yes.
F&M, $5 to play. You can walk away with, sometimes triple that, and you can sort of start building up a collection.
Absolutely. Right? I think it's a really useful...
So I see Mandadorks in red cards. So.
Yeah, red-green.
Yep.
Probably some variation of red-green monsters.
Yes.
So definitely trying to ramp up into some of the really gross things that green can do right now.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be an interesting match. Don't know exactly what it's taking. There's a lot of ways to go. With either the big red cards, the big green cards, a mixture of both.
Mm-hmm.
Nykthos or not, there's a lot.
Yeah, I think the red-green planeswalkers are fantastic.
Yes.
And they can both go into the same deck, which is...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Something to take note of.
More play mats. Top of our play
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I'm kind of upset. Should we start invoking a no playmat policy?
We should get real serious about it. So, we're off and running. Zach on the play.
The Elvish Mystic from Jason.
Yep, that's a good one. Probably an Omen Speaker? No, a Frostburn Weird.
So, Jason has a variety of options in the 3-drop slot. Going to lead off with Sullen Gary.
Yep, just rampant.
Yes. And then the 5s and 4s are where this deck really gets scary. So
pull Chronoses and whatnot.
Xenagos. Yeah, all sorts of terrible things can happen.
Looks like a Boon Satyr in his hand, maybe.
I saw Polukranos, I think.
Okay.
So
he's got some juice.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Zach gets in there. Might as well. I mean,
absolutely. We're gonna do a block Polukranos with that thing. You know you're under the gun.
Yeah.
That's scary, man. The starts that these red-green decks can have is really scary. Like, there's really not a lot to the other decks can do in terms of keeping up. You gotta have a different plan because it's not like you're gonna just out-curve them.
Right. Yeah. There's no deck that curves out better than these red-green devotion decks.
Right. These green X.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. They have Nixos and stuff like that.
Making more mana.
More mana.
Now sometimes they can just run nothing but mana. That's a danger of playing a ramp deck.
Exactly.
And when you have decks that can somehow overcome that, we got Ashiok coming down.
All right. Take a look. Xenagos. Forest. And I don't know if the last one was a creature. I think, Domri Rat. Jeez, that was a really good mill.
That was good. Wow. They say milling is basically blank. It doesn't really have any impact on the quality of draws.
But then stuff like that happens.
Sometimes you get the 2 best cards in the whole deck.
Right. So Jason flashing in his Boon Satyr.
Boon Satyr, unfortunately, doesn't necessarily stack up all that well.
Yeah, he doesn't have a great attack with it.
With Zach's board.
Right. And there's Polukranos. Actually, I learned how that card's actually pronounced.
Okay.
It's Polukranos.
Okay, that sounds more Greek.
It is. Yeah, that's
Polukranos.
That's how you say it, guys. So.
Polukranos' ability to fight everything in the world with the amount of mana that Jason has is intimidating right now.
Yeah. So
So a Gorklan Rampage, another Domri, and a land.
So it looks like he could do it for 1, 2, 3. He could nuke that Omen Speaker
and just make a really big Polukranos and just get in there for like a trillion.
Yeah. So I wonder how many counters are on the Ashiok. He plussed it twice, right?
Yes.
And he got a Gorklan Rampager.
Yep.
So next turn, he could play the Rampager. I don't think that'll help him too much.
No, not necessarily. I don't think that's where you want to be investing your resources right now, but, it's free. It's certainly not, what's it going to do? Chump block? That's irrelevant at this point. But it looks like we're going to see a removal spell here for Polukranos.
Yeah, the ultimate price taking care of the 5/5.
Having access to, main deck cards like ultimate price, really powerful against these kind of strategies because they invest so many turns and cards, and to get in there for Polukranos out. It's not like they just spent 4 mana on it, right? Because the deck is full of 1/1s and 0/3s.
Yeah, Zach has gotten a lot of really good creatures with these Ashiok.
Man, I don't know. Ashiok, looking fairly okay.
Yeah, Jason hasn't really found a way to punch through yet.
Yeah.
And if Zach can get his devotion count up, he will have an indestructible Erebos that can block the Polukranos. However, Jason also could monstrous his Polukranos and take care of whatever is giving him the devotion. So, gonna play the Stormbreath Dragon, which is awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
I like that.
And then we have another removal spell. We do.
Man. So this is looking good for Jason for a while, but then Ashiok really doing some work.
Jason had a really good start. He had mana ramp and then big guys, and that's really, he can't ask for much more than that out of his deck.
Right.
Ashiok has done a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is literally the first time I've ever seen a creature cast with Ashiok.
Yeah, me too, I think. No, I take that back. I had it done against me. It was not a pleasant feeling.
Yeah. I'm impressed. So what do we got here? 100 million mana.
What in the world?
Joe, could we get a...
Can you give us, tell us what that does, because I have no idea.
It is definitely one of the new Fuse cards. Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
No, we can't read that, but thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
hold on. Leave it there. Nope, not gonna help.
Not good. Thank you.
We'll look it up.
We're gonna look it up.
We have a tablet. And what does this magic card do?
Well, I just need to know the name. Flesh and Blood. That's not the double strike one, is it?
No, that's...
Salt and battery? No, that's something.
That's from, like, Apocalypse.
I know what it does.
Let's see. Come on, Google.
But anyway, whatever it was like, cost a lot of mana.
If I just type flesh blood into Google, what do you think will happen? Oh, here we go, flesh blood. Alright. Come on, Gatherer.
It puts a bunch of tokens on something because that Lattimore Elf now has 5+1/+1 counters.
I wish so cooperate. Alright, here we go. I got it. Flesh blood. Here's what flesh does. Alright, out blood, that's what I think what. Oh no, he did both.
He fuses.
Okay. Flesh. Exile target creature from a graveyard. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature where X is the power of the card you exiled.
Okay.
Alright. Blood is a red and a green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player.
Okay.
So,
looks like he got Ashiok off the table.
Right. Zach's still with a hilarious, like a comically good board.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to see Stormwrath Dragon draw a card with Bison?
I don't know, but it's sweet and I'm into it.
Yeah, and there's also a whip in play, and that's...
Yeah. Wow. That was a Magic game right there.
For Zach it was, yeah.
Yeah, we saw Flesh and Blood get fused. We saw Ashiok cast Stormbreath Dragon.
This is awesome.
This is sweet. I'd probably pick this match.
Yeah. We were on the, trying to figure out, like, okay, do we want to put, people were drawing on, but, I mean, we haven't seen what Jason is playing yet.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting, so that'd be fun to...
Yeah, get this matchup. And they're playing for cash, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is a good choice. So, game 2.
Yes.
Zach has access to maybe a little more removal, spot removal.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where, like, turn is, like, better because the creatures you're turning are, like, so big.
Yeah, it's actually worth it.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be turning, like, imposing stuff.
Right, exactly.
Like,
you're going to be turning Polukranos.
Yeah, you should be able to block and kill an opposing sovereign with the blue-black creatures that are available anyway.
Yeah.
So
you want to be turning Stormbreath Dragon.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Now, you're Jason. You lost that game despite having a pretty good start. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like the busted start this deck is capable of, but a pretty solid start.
Yeah, I mean, that draw was no joke. I think there's a lot of decks that would have died to that draw. Especially with an overloaded flesh blood.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
What do we do game 2? What happens differently here? What do you want access to?
Well, as usual, Jason needs to assign himself a role.
Yep.
I think in this match he should be the aggressor.
I think he's the beat down here. I think you're correct.
He has much more explosive draws with his mana dorks. Can stick a really potent threat early. If Zach can't find an answer to it immediately, the game could end very quickly.
Yeah, it's that old saying, right? There are no wrong threats or only wrong answers. So
yeah,
I think Jason just wants to maybe a slightly more threat-heavy hand.
I think Jason also wants to draw his planeswalker.
Yes.
That's
present, get to the point where you can cast 2 spells a turn quickly, and then start casting 2 spells a turn.
Right.
Try to overload Zach's ability to answer them and kill him with the last threat left is really, I think, the general game plan.
Yeah. Jason can generate card advantage in this matchup, which is crazy.
Yeah.
With Dulmery, he'll be able to protect it relatively easy. Zach does have access to things that fly, as well as Hero's Downfall.
Yep.
But I think if Jason is going to win this game, it'll be because Zach, the way he has to remove creatures are only 1-for-1s.
Right.
So if Jason gets one, like you said, one of his big threats to stick, then that's how he'll...
If he's got a Hero's Downfall, a Domirod, then he doesn't necessarily have a Hero's Downfall for the Stormwrath Dragon.
Exactly,
so it's going to be that kind of game for Jason. Zach, definitely the control deck here. The fact that he has cheap, effective spot removal and cards like Hero's Downfall that are really good, efficient answers to Jason's Planeswalkers. They come down like really at just the right time to prevent the Planeswalkers from getting out of control.
Right.
I think is really important here. An unanswered Xenagos for too many turns is very scary.
Right.
An unanswered Domirod is very scary.
Right.
Domirod Ultimate is almost 100% game over in this kind of matchup where your guys are so big and your opponent is relying on spot removal to keep them under control.
I think Jason brought in his Mistcutter Hydras.
That seems very good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And we'll see. Jason will be on the play. I think that's important. I think this game goes 2-1 in favor of Zach. I think Jason has the ability to take this game off of Zach, but Zach being on the play for game 3 with a reasonable hand, I think is probably favored.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think either one. I mean, Jason can potentially get a draw that is just so busted.
Yes, I think that it's certainly not a gimme, but that would, if I had to pick this game, I'd say 2-1 Zach over Jason in 3 hard-fought games.
So it's probably fair to say whoever's on the play is on the play.
I think that's really important. I think it's more important in the sense that Jason really wants to be on the play, and Zach's deck doesn't necessarily get better on the play, but he wants to deny Jason the explosive start
be one step ahead.
of being on the play.
Exactly.
Which is why I think it's more relevant. It's not like Zach's deck wants to be on the play against everybody all the time. Like, it's not super critical.
Right.
But in this particular matchup, Jason being on the play, I think, is potentially so explosive.
Yes.
Looks like he's got a hand that he likes. He'll start with a scry land.
He keeps it.
Zach, a rare start without a scry land.
Yeah, the old island go. Right on time.
Yep. Frostburn Weird. Not as much of a bump in the road against this deck, and he's going to outclass that card pretty quickly. Looks like he's got the option of holding up a Boon Satyr or casting. Is that not a Stormbright Dragon on the end?
I think that was only 2 Stormbright Dragons and a.
Orclan Rampager.
Very good. The Rampager is surprisingly effective against Zach's creatures.
Yes, I think Rampagers are really, really good. I'm glad that it's, it saw a lot of play last standard.
And Zach missed the land route, so this is definitely the kind of start that Jason needs. What card is that?
Can't quite make it out. Is that a Sylvan Curative, maybe?
Yeah.
Looks like he's topping it.
Yeah. I would imagine it's not a Sylvan.
Okay.
But, I mean,
unless he's trying to get up to, like, overloading or monsterifying something, He's got a line where he's got to hit a specific number of mana.
Right, exactly. And a Scavenging Ooze.
The Scooze.
Scooze the boss.
Man, I like Gorklan Rampager a lot.
Yeah, so...
That Thassa is active? Is that a Thassa?
Yeah, that will be a indestructible 5/5 Thassa.
Yep.
Here comes, Stormbright Dragon.
Stormbright Dragon is a great answer to a 5/5 Thassa.
A good way to not, deal with the Thassa is just fly over it.
Yeah.
So, Zach.
And
he's scryed one.
Yep.
And then,
he's starting to monstrous the Stormbright Dragon next turn.
Yeah. I think I probably would have attacked if I was Zach. I mean, Thassa's not going to be
Well, he's holding back the Rampager. So if he attacked, he was dead on board.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
But he did not know about the second Stormbright Dragon. Which was countered. Yeah. That is a suspiciously close. There we go. That graveyard was a little. So, was it dismissed? I don't know exactly what the counter spell was. And then rapid hybridization gets the other one. Is that what that was? No, it was a ultimate price.
Yeah. So Zach doing a decent job to stabilize.
Absolutely. Jason
now in a position where he can't. Well, okay. He's going to attack. Like, he can eat 2 of his guys.
Yes.
Zach down to 4.
Yep.
But I'm not sure I'm crazy about
throwing away the Rampager.
Yeah, I would have just said.
Well, something to keep in mind is that if
that too. Okay, never mind.
The other option was, of course, that with the other Rampager dying, he gets to make the Scavenging is a 5/5 next turn, and then he can untap and potentially brawl with Thassa.
Yeah, sure.
But no, he just had the other Rampager, which Zach did not have the read on, and just got blown out by it.
Yeah, it's hard to think that you should
start chumping.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not winning that game.
Right.
You get to ask yourself the question: if he has the Rampager, can I beat it? The answer is just no.
No. Yeah.
And you just have to set up a good counterattack and
exact ties. Scrolling on the screen.
So, well, that happened exactly how Jason would have drawn that game up if you gave him an opportunity.
I think so. Yeah.
Zach's deck is pretty good at playing the control role. I mean, he really stabilized better than, I think I gave him credit for there.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably just dead to Storm Breaths, but it took another Rampage. Rampage is still a really good card.
Right.
I do like Zach's chances. Looks like he might be going back to his sideboard.
Yes.
Perhaps, what did we see that game that we didn't see before? The Rampagers were new. We saw them, but
I assume he would have a main deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're
maybe he's
tuning
not
up.
crazy. Like I think those were miscutter Hydra, so maybe he's not crazy about having Hydra on the draw.
On the draw,
Which
that makes a lot of
sense.
sense to me. You really want Hydra to be able to be one bigger than your opponent's biggest guy at every turn that he's coming in. So
I definitely don't mind taking out the Hydras.
looks like Zach also going back to the board, tuning it up a little bit for being on the play, maybe taking a slightly more aggressive posture on the play. But it's an interesting game. It's really bomby. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
Right.
And the ability to trade up with your removal is so important. Killing 4/4s with your 2-mana spells is really important in this kind of matchup. Zach really needs, I think, to get his draw engine online, start chaining the scry together and drawing more cards, because he needs to use his 1-for-1 removal.
Getting that Ashiok active was
that was a big deal. It was a big game.
Winning that game,
I don't know if I would have expected to hear that said about Standard, is about how critical getting Ashiok online was, but I've been impressed with him when I see him on camera.
That first game, it was like how he won. Yeah, so
there's some lines. Zach wants to start getting ahead on cards so he can 1-for-1 everything.
Right.
And Jason wants to get ahead on board and try to put Zach stabilizing out of reach before Zach can start casting 2 spells a turn consistently.
Right.
I think is really the core of this particular matchup.
Yeah, it's interesting because Jason and Zach both have kind of quirky ways of generating card advantage.
Yes.
So Jason's comes in the form of Domri Rod, Xenagos or whatever. Zach can do it with Ashiok, which oddly generates card advantage, sort of.
Yep.
And the Dustman Seer.
Yeah.
And Jason could take a ton of damage off his Dustman Seer.
I think Dustman Seer could be a really important part of Zach's game plan.
Yeah, but also on the play, it kind of makes more sense, I think. But at the same rate, I could see Zach sideboarding out those Seers.
Yeah, because Jason, if he draws 2 spells and Jason draws 2 creatures every turn, eventually all the haste beaters are going to catch up to him.
Right.
But man, I think Dustman Seer is really good in this matchup.
Oh yeah.
His deck's full of 4 and 5s, and your deck is full of 2-mana removal spells.
Right.
That seems like the kind of setup you want, especially with so much scry. Looks like our feed may be stuttering a little bit.
Or completely frozen.
Yes.
Oh, we're back.
There we go.
All right, cool.
I don't know if that stuttered for you guys or it was just our Skype. But either way.
We might have dropped frames.
Yeah.
That happens. We're still getting used to how to get everything set up, so Zach, this time around,
starting with the
Scry,
And we're going to see an Elvis Mystic.
The mana dork from
Is that a turn 1 Elvis Mystic every game? No.
No, not the last game. Yeah, they start with the Scry.
Yep. A pretty straightforward line from Zach. Just play a little guy. Jason making sure to sequence his lands correctly.
Yep.
Don't
hit unnecessary damage or whatever. So Jason poised to take a big turn next.
Starting next turn and probably continuing.
Yeah, and Zach, hopefully for him, he has some sort of answer, whether it be a counterspell or spot removal.
I like Sylvan Carrington in this matchup a lot. It is a can't be, bolt the birds kind of scenario when you're playing a real heavy deck where they can take apart your stars and this just doesn't work.
Alright, so here's Xenagos.
Does Xenagos resolve?
Looks like it.
Pretty good.
Imagine he will be using the mana ability to put in a scavenging news, which is definitely worth it.
And snapped off. Now, the thing about doing that here is that I like it because you're putting Zach on not having any sweepers.
Right.
So you just...
There's a downfall for Zach, I guess, yeah.
You just play a million guys, right? So we can't catch up.
Right.
What do we got here?
Ooh,
Hydra.
oh my gosh.
He's a big boy.
So Zach needs some sort of block removal spell for this guy.
Yep.
Or else he's going to be out of control. Even like the only black creatures Zach can get in the way is a Desecration Demon, but obviously, I mean, Jason can easily attack.
Has the removal spell.
Okay, so Zach's still in this one. That's kind of a scary moment for
yeah.
any base blue deck, you know.
Yeah.
And Delmirad. So Jason, no short of bombs.
Nope, just jamming. Does not hit off Domri.
Yep. And Pelucranos. And that's, oh my gosh.
Yep.
So now Zach can pick off the Domri.
Yes.
Which
would bring the body count of that Frostburn weird up to 2 planeswalkers. Well, Jason, you know, he's running them out with protection, but
not that time.
Well, he got his blocker got doing
right. Yeah. So now Jason
out of gas,
which kind of happens with these big and okay. Now Zach is going to be able to gain some life here.
It's interesting. I think Zach is starting to get to the point where it's going to be hard. The window is closing for Jason to get back.
Get something to stay, yeah.
Well, that is a good start.
Okay, so he can do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can make a 7/7 Hydra. So basically, this Hydra, if it attacks, will be doing 3 damage, and Zach will be doing 4.
Yeah.
All right, because of the life.
Because of the whip.
Yeah. So
it's a start.
So this is
really more. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh,
he's counting his mana.
What is this? Okay.
Oh, we wanted to make sure. Oh, wow.
Okay. He gets the Flush Blood, Delmirad, and beautiful.
All right. Flush Blood would have been a decent draw for Jason.
Yeah, it would have been really good, actually.
He would have been able to kill Zach potentially.
Right.
Well, not through the whip. But, like, the amount of damage would have been very high.
Yeah. So Zach going to gain, I think, 2 or 3 life? 3 life. So he'll go up to 15. He'll be dropping to 8, potentially 7.
I don't know if Jason has an answer to the whip.
Yeah. Another big guy would be helpful
for
as well.
sure.
Like, you know, God forbid, a Miss Hydra number 3.
Yeah.
But it looks like Zach's going to be able to kind of outrace this clock.
So Jason's got to ask himself, is it
Ashiok?
Am I still
Yeah. I think Ashiok is the right answer.
Still Ashiok. Get him out of here.
You're not going to kill Zach this turn, which means you're not going to be killing him for a couple turns, so you might as well just get the Ashiok off the board.
Sure.
Alright. So, Jason looking to chump
starting the block.
So that's the blue mana that Zach has available over there. Just gonna pump it. Did Jason double block?
Did he block both of them? No.
That must be it. I'm not sure I'm crazy about the block.
Yeah. I don't know.
Zach's life total is now enormous. He's, I think, out of reach.
Through another land.
Yeah. This game, unfortunately, for Jason, got out of control very quickly.
Yep.
Some well-timed spot removal and the life gain from the...
Right on time spot removal.
And...
The Frostburn Weirds have done so much work.
I guess the Elvish Mystic did not die.
Okay. They've killed 2 planeswalkers and are doing every point of damage in this game.
And Nightfell Spectre.
That's, fine. Right, that's the danger of these battery attacks, right? sometimes you top deck on Elvish Mystic
Yeah.
when your deck's full of them. The power of these explosive starts.
Right. And it's interesting. Yeah. So now Zach is looking to finish the game. That Frost Remover is dead because of the Pro from the Hydra, but he's going to be able to kill a Elvish Mystic.
Sure.
And the Nightfall Spectre will be dealing damage.
And he's just gaining more life.
Yes. Yeah. So Jason, I think what he needs is an answer to the Spectre and then another Hydra.
Yeah.
That would.
I don't know what his answer to the Spectre is if he has Arbor Colossus.
That's true.
Would be one.
Zach getting the mountain there, so he can potentially cast the burn half of his turn burn if that happens.
Yeah, it needed to be like exactly Arbor Colossus, like right there. I guess I don't know what else would have done it. I guess he got another turn.
Yep.
Or does he? Yes. I say even with a whip activation.
Yeah. Wait, is that a Nightfall Spectre? How's the Elvish Mystic blocking a Nightfall Spectre? What did I see?
I don't know what has happened to that Elvish Mystic. It didn't block it. His life total changed down to 3.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, that was okay. That was a Scryland. What am I missing that the Elvish Mystic
I have
dead?
no idea what they kill that Elvish Mystic.
Alright, whatever. Can Zach cast the Thunder out? That'd be sick.
That would be awesome.
No, but he would have been. I'm letting the race. This is what he hit with. This is what he hit.
It was attempting to give us a message, but.
That's what he hit. And then I had that on Mystic, Hydra, and like. That's what he hit with Ashiok, and I had that on the board. With
it must have died prior to that or something. Yeah.
So, Jason drawn Slim.
Kyle walked in. Hi, Kyle.
If he has an out, and then he's starting to whip these.
Wildfire would be really good.
Wildfire would be great.
Actually, Wildfire would be really good.
Wildfire would kill him at this point, though.
Yes.
So you don't want to necessarily do that.
Oh, yeah, I would. Never mind.
Yeah.
Man.
That's not a good one.
I'm bad.
You're the worst.
I'm not good.
Over Mysium Mortars, if he has Mysium Mortars in his deck.
Oh, yeah, that's an actual card that he can,
like a real card. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Mysium Mortars or nothing. So
no, Mysium Mortars actually doesn't do it because he doesn't can't kill it, whips it back. Whip is insane.
This is hard. Oh, yeah, take that simple.
Time to cast that Domri.
Cast that Domri Rock. Is that 43?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a challenge.
Jason's at 1.
that's a discrepancy. That's
that's a life total. What is it? Yeah, I don't think there's a card that exists.
No. Obliterate.
Yeah. Well,
Obliterate would be really good.
Obliterate.
Jocko Hops.
Yeah, Jocko Hops is pretty good.
So this is my card. What is it? Gourmet slams out the Gourmet.
Yeah, take 11.
Go to 32.
Go to 32.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Zach takes it down. After a really aggressive start from Jason, his deck did everything he could really have asked it to do over those first several turns. Slowed out a little bit in the end.
That was insane.
Couldn't keep his Planeswalkers on the board due to some timeless spot removals from Zach, so the Planeswalkers really couldn't exercise their card advantage plan to help him pull ahead of that removal.
Right.
And then Zach just did what he does. Play spot removal, play guys, play whip, and then just get out of reach.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Simple as that.
So it looks like Zach will be moving into 4th place.
Almost certainly 4th place, and Jason will possibly still top 8.
Yeah, I think so.
Steinbergers were weird.
Yeah.
So Zach's deck looked pretty decent on camera. Jason's deck, again, doing what it does, and it just had a window, and the window was rapidly closed.
Yes.
So, that was FNM tonight, all 5 rounds. I think we saw some sweet ones.
Yeah, I think so. We saw some really interesting decks.
I liked Dean's deck, and he went on, of course, to get first place with that.
Right.
And we have been, of course, broadcasting from the Game Haven.
Yes.
Home of 4 ties tonight. 4 unintentional draws.
Yep.
It's a lot. More than I'm used to seeing.
That's more than... That's upsetting.
Yeah.
How many draws that is. Yeah.
But, for Dayton Magic Club, I'm Ryan Johnson.
Jacob Ross.
And we've been broadcasting standard Friday Night Magic, all 5 rounds, live from the Game Haven in Riverside, Ohio.
Joe Plank is the man behind the curtain.
Yes, and he's did an excellent job of stapling this thing together with blood and tears.
Yeah. Staples fashioned out of blood and tears. Yeah. So this is kind of our first real attempt at broadcasting live.
It was.
So we had a few bumps.
A little bit.
But overall, I really enjoyed it.
I think it went really well. I'm happy with it.
So this Friday Night Magic leads into the SG Open in Columbus.
Absolutely.
So a abnormal amount of people with Game Haven are going, which is awesome.
It is awesome. A lot of Dayton Magic Club members, and a lot of Team Dayton Magic will be up there.
Yes.
Playing in their Dayton Magic Club swag.
Yeah, I think there's 15 of us.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Going. Yeah.
So we'll be trying to defend our home turf in Columbus, and I'll be playing Bug Delver and Legacy. I won't be playing Standard.
I'll be playing both.
Yeah. So if you're going to be in there, check us out. And I think that about wraps it up. Dean, what's his last name?
Conley.
Dean Conley won the whole thing tonight with Esper Humans.
Yes.
At 5 hard-fought rounds, didn't drop a match.
No. A very impressive display.
Table 1 was also made up of Cassie, the Duke, playing Esper Control.
Yep.
Which also had a good showing tonight.
Yeah, and either Jeff Green or Chris Stipp
put Mono Blue Devotion, and the Mono Blue Devotion mirror should have picked up 3rd place.
Second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2nd place. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And then Zach with Blue-Black Devotion.
Yeah.
Picked right up top 4.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Diverse metagame.
Oh, we didn't do deck names this time.
We didn't do deck names. That's
all
right. We had way too
many other things. Yeah.
But thanks for sticking with us tonight. If you're watching this on the video on demand, check us out at DaytonMagicClubwebsite.com.
Yeah. Also Twitch.tv/Dayton_Magic_coverage,
which is a great channel name.
Yeah. Really so if you're here right now, you know where to find it.
So thanks for tuning in, and I don't think we'll be back next week.
I don't believe so, no.
But perhaps the week after. I think we're just trying for every other week to do one of these. So check us out. We'll be posting when we're going to be broadcasting, as well as articles and strategy content on DaytonMagicClubwebsite.com, or you can follow the channel and get live notifications.
Yeah.
All right. I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. See you later.